if we'll go live.
I'm gonna tweet that shit out.
Tweet it out.
You tweet that. Let's see.
Tweet it out. Tweet it
Oh
out.
my god. On the front page is this, like, super duper nerd from the Star Wars The Old Republic cosplay contest. He's epic.
He's epic. Is that what you said?
Yeah. He's just like this guy who looks like he was in a failed Metallica cover band. Super long black hair, like he's a villain.
Nice. All right. It looks like it's working. It looks like it's all working.
A little bit of a tighter shot of you so we can see your
Dude.
your dental work and your nose job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. How's your teeth though, dude?
Oh, they're pretty good, man. They fixed this one right here, but the one chip beside it is still busted. And for anybody that watches this later, I hit a car. I got hit by a car while biking to work. I cycle to work every day. So
Yeah, and that's just karma. That's just karma because normal people drive to work.
Is this actually streaming? Because it still says that you're offline.
yeah, you just click on there and you'll see it streaming.
Channel.
Oh, go to channel. I see.
I went
Yeah.
on the page too, and apparently it was.
And let me try one other little thing real quick, and see if the music will play through here.
Close ad. Get out of here.
Oh, are we gonna start getting checks now? Fish oil. Hell yeah, big money. Fish oil.
Oh yeah.
Game
Okay,
on.
we're good. We're bueno.
Frame rate on this.
Still a viewer, but
commercial is
whatever. I guess it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna worry about it anymore. I'll hound you over group me about it though. Don't worry about it. I got you.
You can make yourself a little bigger.
There we go.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Right.
You could.
I'm like, I'm relaxed.
Are you on
Being
any
relaxed
are you
does
on
not make
drugs?
for a very good time, sir.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you didn't have to.
Right. Right. So for all you dudes that are going to be watching, you're going to get to see a little behind the scenes as well.
What's that?
So basically, what we're going to do, Nash, is you won't be able to hear the music because I don't have a mixer, so you can hear it through Skype too. But everyone that's on Twitch will be able to hear it. So I'll just take the keys off of me, and that's pretty much it. And we'll give you a countdown when to start recording with Audacity. So
Can't has words.
Sounds good.
Yeah, how are we handling the transitions? We're not doing all the normal stuff, so you're just kind of
Yeah.
hanging it, right?
yeah, I got the soundboard ready to go. So
Yeah.
well, cool dudes. Well, is there anything else you can think of before we start?
I don't know.
I don't know. Actually,
Microphone
There's
smells
no one
good.
here.
let me get some water before we start.
With the radios before you started. Maybe.
I'm only saying maybe because I didn't hear the question.
Okay.
Dude, did you guys see the new Destiny dance video?
No.
Back streets, back. All right.
Is it worth a look at it?
It's Backstreet Boys, so I would have to
Yeah, it's the
say
same
no.
guys who did the
Yeah,
last
I
one.
was about to
And
say.
it's awesome.
All right.
I'm sure
It
it
is
is.
awesome.
It's
You're
it's
jamming
very
out
awesome.
to that, huh?
All the time.
For like 20 years, yeah.
For 20 years, huh?
All day, every day. Backstreet Boys.
All right, I'm gonna turn off the Xbox.
All right.
It's distracting.
Are you guys ready for this? Are y'all ready for this podcast?
Just let me know when to record, because I have not started
Yeah.
recording at all, so.
All right, y'all go ahead. Circuit, I'm assuming you can edit before we start, right? Or for SoundCloud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
what's the dealio?
Excuse me, that's
All right, so I guess start recording in 3, 2, 1. It's a little mic check. Everybody good?
Check,
Why not?
check. Yep.
Good.
All right. Well, I will start the intro music,
Fantastic. isn't it?
and we shall begin.
Fire in my trunk.
Use the force. Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, we're doing a special podcast this week. Thanks for everyone for listening. This is Mulehorn 117, part of the FOG Family of Gamers Network. And this is actually This is our first live podcast, so everyone that's watching, thanks for watching and listening. Yeah. And so, yeah, Honey Bunny, thanks for...
Columbus, apparently.
Right. Well, Dirty Bombs, bro, how you doing?
Fantastic. I wish I had my lightsabers, but they're in the trunk of my car, so...
I carry mine with me at all times.
Yeah.
Didn't you ever hear Obi-Wan when he told Anakin, "It's your life"?
Yeah.
We'll get into Obi-Wan in just a minute, huh?
Oh, snap. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good. Really looking forward to the beta after this. I got my Mountain Dew, so I'm hopped up, ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Circuit, bro, how are you?
I'm not doing the dew, but I'm going the other way. Drinking a lovely Houston burr known as Ziegenbach.
Nice.
Muy delicioso.
Nice, bro.
And, I've been enjoying the Star Wars Battlefront Beta. I got through a few games earlier, and man, we've only got three game modes right now, and
Yeah.
I already had a blast. And it seems like something like this: pick up, hop in, shoot some people, get out. You know, it's maybe a little casual, but I think it's a lot of fun.
Right? Yeah, I got to actually do it a little early. I'll talk to you guys about that in a second. But yeah, we'll Burn Phoenix. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. Earlier today, I wasn't sure if I was going to make the podcast because I was on my way to work and stopped at Dunkin' Donuts. And the Dunkin' Donuts where I live, believe it or not, it's the only one for like 20 miles, which in the Northeast that's never heard of.
Crazy.
So the lines are long, bumper to bumper traffic in the drive-through. I tapped the guy in front of me accidentally.
Oh.
He looks at me, I look at him. I think everything's okay. He gets his crap, pulls away. I get mine, pull out. We're both going in the same direction. He's in like the right lane. He goes to turn, but before he turns, he swerves in front of me and stops in the middle of the road. And he's just writing down my license plate number. And then he speeds off. So I'm like, what the hell is this guy gonna do? Is he gonna say I was like a hit and run? What's he gonna do? But nothing ever happened. So other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Cookies? Who wants cookies?
Yeah.
I want cookies.
Who doesn't want these, man?
Anyway. So.
Well, we are missing Double D Thaddeus. He couldn't make it tonight, so I'm a little sad with that. But yeah, my week has been eventful, as some of y'all know. I cycle to work and actually got hit. I'm not going to get into the details, but I got hit by a car and busted some teeth, and they fixed some of them, but not all of them. So yeah, so it's been an eventful week. And we actually have a cool special guest. He's part of the FOG family. He's with us tonight. His name is Nash Daddy. What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, man.
I'm sitting over here drinking some delicious Vex milk.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. All right.
If only N64 Josh was here.
Yeah, right.
Right. No, it is from the Promised Land Ranch, actually. Chocolate milk, one of my favorite drinks on the planet. Keeping it simple, but you know, it's creamy and delicious.
Nice.
So
Creamy and
it's free advertising from my favorite chocolate milk producer on the face of this earth.
So
And
much.
Who would that be? Who is your preferred chocolate milk company?
Promised Land.
Promised Land.
Okay.
You probably
Something else.
have not heard of it if you do not live in Texas.
Oh well, I do, and I have.
Good. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like 85% of the podcast is from Texas.
Yeah. That's pretty much. Most of us are from Tejas.
85.
Yeah.
Haas.
Myself and Phoenix are the only two who are up north.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, Nash, dude, I am pumped because we're actually going to get to meet in person, too, when we do PAX South in San Antonio. So, yeah,
Yes.
you,
Oh, snap.
Thaddeus, myself. So it's going to be fun, bro. I can't wait to hang out some.
Pick,
But
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
pick up something nice for me and Phoenix.
yeah, we'll pick you up a Rebel blaster or something like that.
Dude, I'd still rock. I don't care.
Well, Nash Daddy, bro, give us a little 411 on your gamer history, man.
Oh, so I have been playing video games since my oldest brother, who also games with me. He's one of my admins in the FOG Nash Dynasty. Pseudonym is his gamer tag, and he's my parents had a rule: we couldn't have any video games until we could buy them ourselves.
Yeah.
So he saved his pennies. He got a job at Burger King.
Hey,
BK Lounge,
do it.
and
Yeah.
it bought a 64, and that was the first system that entered our home.
Nice.
Nice,
And,
man.
so we had many long nights and late afternoons playing Super Smash Brothers Melee,
Yes.
and or Super Smash Bros. Melee was on the
The
GameCube.
yeah,
That's
GameCube.
which again, that's probably the best, even compared to the Wii version. I think that one was the best Super Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, and then progressed on to playing Halo. My buddies and I, we'd stay up super late down in our basement playing Halo all the way through in a night, scaring the crap out of ourselves with the flood.
Yeah. Well,
It was
when they jump out at
terrifying
you
back
and
then.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
look back at it now and I'm like, this was scary.
yeah,
Wait,
man.
hold on. Where in Texas do they have basements? Because as far as
No,
I
I-
know.
No, I lived in Minnesota at the time. We had
Okay.
supple earth to dig into and build our basements.
Nice. Yeah.
Are Earthing supple enough for you?
It is nothing but bedrock about a foot down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't try and build a pool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So yeah, then it just kind of progressed on from there, and love me some Destiny. Played Halo.
Yep.
All the way through. Halo, I'm very grateful for Bungie in creating Halo, because that is the game series that got my wife into playing first-person shooters.
Oh, very nice, bro. That's cool. Family of gamers. I love it.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to ask you the question. I always ask it to our community spotlights, but what's your 3 favorite games? It's the worst question you could ever ask, but I know I have to ask it.
Top 3, go.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna exclude Destiny because I think that's just an obvious current game that we clearly love because we play it way too much.
Yeah.
Or not enough.
Right?
Well,
If we have
only we
time.
have more time.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Let's see. Skyrim has got to be my number 1 favorite game of all time. I sank a lot of hours into that. The role playing and the lore. I mean, I spent so many hours just reading books.
Yeah.
In the game, you know.
Yeah.
So that's probably number 1. Number 2 would be coincidentally Mass Effect 2 specifically.
There you go.
Yes, bro. Good call.
Yeah.
Were you,
I laugh when I read the box on Destiny and it says cinematic storytelling.
right? I gotta ask you, bro. Since you're a Mass Effect fan, I gotta interrupt and ask.
Yeah.
Did you get hit right in the feels at the beginning? Were you like, what the heck happened when, spoiler alert for y'all that hadn't played it, when Shepard dies? Were you like, what the heck?
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Who am I playing as?
Right? I was like, the first thing I thought was like, this game's crap. I don't want to play it.
I created my character and then I watched him get blown up.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
That
Sorry.
was a little confusing. Yeah, so Mass Effect 2, the storytelling, that's another game that helped get my wife transitioned away from the games she was used to playing into shooters. She loved watching me play that, because, it's like watching a movie. So, love that game. And then, I think the third one's got to be Super Smash Brothers.
Yes.
And here's a little side story on that. My wife, when she and I got engaged, and we were talking about, confessed my love of video games to her, and then she comes out of nowhere and says, "Oh yeah, I played some video games." So she told me the ones that she played: Lord of the Rings on PlayStation.
Yeah.
2.
Yep.
You married her
Way
right
back
then,
in the
right?
day.
And she said that she played Super Smash Brothers on the 64.
Oh, nice.
I was like, really? And she said, yeah, and I'm pretty good. I was like, okay,
Wait, what did she say her character was?
Pikachu.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, God.
Pikachu.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with
So-
Pikachu, man.
Right.
Pikachu.
Well, so she told me that she was pretty good, and I concealed my laughter. But I'd heard that before, and
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, for our first Christmas, right after we got married, I tracked down a way too expensive copy of Super Smash Brothers and a 64 and a couple controllers. And I think it was Christmas morning. We're sitting there playing. I was like, all right, let's play. Let's see how good you are. And we did a little 2 out of 3 to see, who was better. And I was thinking I'd need to go easy on her.
Yeah.
And the first game, we did 5 lives each. She beat me. And I'm like, what just happened?
Uh-oh.
Okay, time to put on the shoes. And I play as Fox.
Yeah.
And
You try hard. Sorry,
it's just like
falcon.
the right
Keep
mix. He's the right mix of speed and strength. I like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the next one I beat her, but I mean barely. I had 1 life left, and I had jumped back from the cliff to just barely get her, And then the last time, so it was 1-1. Third match, she destroyed me. I mean, she had 3 lives left. And I was red in the face, raging. I got up, and I mean, no, yeah, we're sitting there on our little futon with the TV that she brought into the marriage, because I didn't even own one at the time. And I walk into the next room, one of the 2 rooms in our little apartment, and I'm like, oh, take a breath, And I come back and I was like, honey, we can never play against each other ever again. Because I am not supposed to feel this way towards you. So ever since then, we've been searching out for co-op games that we could be on the same team and destroy things together, so that my rage at video games was not directed towards my lovely wife.
Very nice, bro.
Smart.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It saved our marriage, I think. That was, almost took us on the wrong turn there.
Right. Oh man, that's awesome. That's good. That's a good story. So give us your info, plug yourself a little bit. Tell us kind of what you want to bring to, the community at FOG and just, Destiny community and your community at the large. So give us the full one.
Yeah, I have a Twitch channel. It's NashDaddy88. My Twitter is NashDaddy88. My YouTube, which I use sometimes just to post videos so that people can find them later, is also NashDaddy88. So that's all you need to know about me in terms of finding me. When you're watching my stream, generally what I like to do is put on instructional things or take people through some of the harder end game content. I love to teach and help people experience it, you know what I mean? Back before Taken King came out, I do Relic School for Vaulted Glass, do Sword School for Crota's End, and took a number of people through Skolas.
Yeah.
Before time ran out. I think the final count on that one was 30 completions.
Whoa!
I'm not sure how many people. At least a third of those I was taking 2 people at a time through for the first time.
Wow, man, that's pretty awesome.
I mean, I had it down. I had on my Hunter alone, I had 2 days logged in Skolas. So.
Dang, dude.
Way too much time playing video games. Very late at night, of course.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, not just carrying people through, but teaching them how to do it so that they're comfortable. They could come back with friends. One of the people that I took through, Minkus Wolf.
Yeah.
He then turned around and took several people from his clan through, and was their Sherpa on Skolas as well. So it's good to see some turnaround with that kind of thing. But yeah, that's what I like to bring to the table is help people get comfortable with the hard stuff, and so that they can be that clutch guy to save the day when the need arises. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Because it's fun. It's a lot more fun that way when you're not being carried.
That's pretty awesome. 34, you said? 34 people you took through Skolas?
I never counted how many people, but according to Destiny Tracker, I had 30 completions in Skolas.
Dang, dude. That's, yeah. Look them up, guys.
Yeah, if you need help, just look me up. I had a few people on Twitter that just somebody would tweet at me and say, hey, this guy says he needs help, and so we'd set up a time and burn through. So let me know.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on with this. I'm really glad we got you on. And for you guys that are listening to us, this podcast is going to be a little bit different than previous podcasts we've had. Part of that is we're kind of celebrating the Star Wars Beta drop as it dropped today. And I just want to give a shout out real quick to the Star Wars community manager. His name is Sledgehammer20 on Twitter. Go give him a follow. I just randomly tweeted him, and I was like, he's giving out codes for like PC and PS4. And as you know, most of us here are Xboxers. Phoenix is the only one that can go both ways. Oh, dang. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I tweeted, I was like, hey, I would love to, test this out before Thursday when we do our podcast so I can talk about it. And dude DM me and drop me a code. And that's pretty freaking awesome for a community manager to just see one random tweet and do that. So shout out to you, man. If that's the way this community is going to be, I'm pretty stoked for this game. So anyways, I wanted to give y'all, before we started, a little first impression, and then we can get into the meat of the podcast. But if you've never played a Star Wars game, this is a good one to start on.
Where have you been if you've never played a Star Wars game?
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. But it's really fun. It does have a very much of a little bit of a Battlefield feel with the way the guns work. The guns feel very realistic. You have to level up, so there's a little bit of a grind there. And if I was reading everything right, because we're literally seeing just a tip of the iceberg of what this game's going to be. Just the tip. Just the tip. Yeah. But yeah. So
how realistic were the lasers?
Dude, it was like the sound effects blew me away.
How realistic.
Yeah. The sound effects. Oh, I know you are. I know you are. But the sound effects blew me away, man. Like when I was playing it, and I streamed it Tuesday night when I got the code. If you go back and watch it, I put it on YouTube. I'm like laughing like a giddy schoolgirl because I'm like, oh my gosh, did you see that? Did you see that? And it was like, it's pretty fun and epic. But give it a try, guys. I would have to say, I'm a fanboy, so take that into account. But I would definitely say this is a great game, and it's going to be tons of fun. But anyways, that's my initial thoughts on it. And on this podcast, instead of doing a lot of Destiny, we're going to actually have a little Star Wars debate. We've been meaning to do this for a while. It's going to be Empire versus Republic. And
The Rebellion.
Yeah, well,
The Rebellion.
They were originally the Republic, but yeah.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. So anyways, as we get into it, let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Let's jump into the debates.
So who gets to start?
We'll handle this.
You got a lightsaber, man. Hold on.
You don't.
All right.
Hold on a second.
It's this big blue Myrtle.
Oh yeah. All right, so I had to pull out my lightsaber. As you can see, it's blue. Of course, Nash. Yours is red.
This is a family podcast.
Yeah, you get a
Lightsaber in his
peek there.
Skype lightsaber duel, man.
Right. So, guys, what we're gonna do?
My daughter picked this out for me at Walmart, actually.
Dude, you're raising them right.
That's right.
So, what we're gonna do, guys? We're gonna have basically Empire is saying that they are good, and of course, us on the Rebels are saying no, they're completely evil.
Yeah.
So they have the burden of proof. They're gonna try to. I'm laying the ground rules here.
Say it without backing it up.
They have the burden of proof, and the reason why I say that is we got to have like a base, and we're going to base it off Lucas since he was the author, and he said it was his classic tale of good versus evil. So we both have to prove our points and go from there. But as you're watching this, the guys that are for the Republic, Empire, and the Rebellion, the guys that are for the Rebellion are Circuit 8 and myself. And Thaddeus is as well, but he couldn't join us, so he couldn't be there. And then the other three Yahoos are Nash Daddy, Phoenix, and Dirty Bombs.
Let's not forget our viewers as well. I know Astronaut out there. He's for the Empire as well. Shout out.
Yeah. Hey, and I wore this shirt just for you because you need support, bro. You need some help. You need some help.
I like that.
More help than we do. Whatever.
Yeah. So, all right. So its basic ground rules are: we're going to say give or take about 1 or 2 minutes to make your point. You can make a point. We'll counter it, and then we'll make our point. We'll just go back and forth. So, Empire guys, take it.
You want to start it off, Dirty Bombs?
Yes. Well, as most people know from my specific segment I did a couple months back, a lot of propaganda, we'll go with that, goes off of trying to put an evil spin on the Empire. And realistically, they're victims of circumstance. They were just doing their jobs, doing their duties, and along comes the terrorists, otherwise known as the air quotes rebellion, throwing a wrench into the works, just ruining everything.
Oh my gosh.
Ruining everything.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want to back that up.
Anybody else have anything to say before we start?
No, yeah. I mean, first off, the rebellion, and to back up the point that you look at the rebels, I mean, they're really just an insurgency group with no real plans for any kind of government set up after they topple the Empire. What are they going to do? I mean, take it back to like individual governments per planet? Like, as far as I know, there's not been any kind of plan aside from take down who's in power.
Yep.
And that, I mean, that's terrorism right there.
Plain and simple.
Anybody else before we kick our
We'll pass the torch. And
Okay.
then come back around.
So
All I gotta say is the Empire has shiny helmets.
And who doesn't need a shiny helmet?
No, but I mean, I'm all about the aesthetics for whatever reason. I guess I don't delve as deep as you guys into it, but I just think that the Empire is a lot cooler looking. I mean, they have stormtroopers and
They
all
do
these
have cool
guys
gear.
with and who do the rebels have? They got some blonde-haired dude and his weird sister, and some hairy guy, and Han Solo.
Oh, I thought that was the hairy guy.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will start on the Rebel and Circuit. You can add whatever you like.
Absolutely.
But I think, first of all, you have to look at it from the standpoint of there would be no Empire if it wasn't for the Sith. And we know the reason why the Sith are around. Everyone knows why. They want power. They want to destroy the Jedi. They want to destroy peace. I mean, they're all against it. And the whole Star Wars, you could say, was set up because of them. So that's kind of what I'm saying, is that these guys just want to ruthlessly rule the galaxy, destroy anyone that comes against them. They hunger for power. They don't care who they kill. To me, that's evil. That's evil 101 right there. And you look at all the movies, and if you support the Empire, it's like you're supporting Nazi Germany. So Circuit, go ahead. Go ahead, bro. I'll let you add what you want.
Well, yeah, we're getting really quick to big picture sort of arguments here already, and I just want to go over to what DD said. The first thing he said is that it was business as usual in the Empire, right? And then here come the pesky rebels, those pesky rebels like the Scooby-Doo kids. Well, business as usual for the Empire was stuff like enslaving and killing entire races and blowing up planets to show off their power and rule by fear. So if that's business as usual, let's indeed throw a wrench into those gears.
Yeah.
You guys done?
Blowing up planets started after the rebels popped up.
Yep.
And the planet that was blown up was a rebel stronghold.
Oh, nope.
Yep.
Hold on.
You have to wait.
Alderaan?
Go ahead. Make your points.
No, that was
Shiny helmets.
I don't think he's going to be much of a help for us, Nash.
I guess it's 2 on 2. Plus shiny helmets.
2.5.
Yeah, right.
It's 2.5.
So you're saying...
Well, hang on, before Mule and Circuit get going.
Go ahead.
Well, like Nash said, the only time and feel free to prove me wrong or back it up with your own proof against it when it's your turn. The only time that we have seen a planet be destroyed is Alderaan. They didn't make a habit out of it. They didn't go out every Friday night and be like, yo guys, what do you want to do? Let's blow up a planet. You know, they didn't do it for funsies. They had to do it to show their might in order to scare off the little pesky rats known as the rebels. All right, because they're just going to keep coming back. They're like ants. They're everywhere, and you can't get rid of them.
Show of force, yeah.
Okay.
Use their strength, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And real quick, hang on. Sorry, I'm coming back to other points that Mule made, and I kind of forgot about until now. But
Need a notepad.
I do need a notepad. I do have a computer in front of me, but that's beside the point. I digress. The Empire wants peace in the galaxy. No matter what way you look at it, dude, they don't want this senseless war. They don't want their people being killed. They want to have a galaxy with people in it to further the galaxy, and they can't do that when they're at a war with some little angsty bunch of dicks. I don't know if I can say that on Twitch, but I did it anyway.
Oh, so we
Saturday
actually,
is fine.
yeah,
You said worse. It's all right.
we got actually that very point in our rebel notes here. So, Circuit, do you want me to go with that, or do you want to take that?
I'll follow up. I want to hear what you were talking about.
So you're saying the rebels are the cause for Alderaan being destroyed. When I quote the movie here, and it says Princess Leia is talking to the governor there that's about to blow it up. And he says, no. She says, Princess Leia says, no, Alderaan is peaceful. We have no weapons. We couldn't possibly. He cuts her off. Would you prefer another target? A military target. So he knows that he is going after civilians and people who are defenseless. That is not terrorism in your point of view. So that, to me, that's not terrorism. They're doing it as just because they want to blow it up and intimidate the rest of the galaxy because they plan on doing more of it. And to your point, Dirty Bombs, they just didn't get a chance to do that because the rebels destroyed it before they could kill more innocent people. So that's my point.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Circuit.
What's up?
You said you wanted to follow up on that, yeah.
Well, all right. Let's just say that's a planet that is known to have been allied at the very least, even if not officially with the rebels, right? That they either had bases or troops or assisted them in some way, even though we kind of think that may not be the case. That probably is just the senator who's the only sympathizer that's even on the planet that we can confirm, right?
Right.
But is that okay to kill billions of people just because there may be a couple thousand there? Even
Good
though
point.
they probably weren't there, and it was just a display of force and showing fear tactics. That's Grand Moff Tarkin's classic style of authority, is by fear. You know? Kill
Yeah.
anything that gets in your way, show them that you're more powerful, and people just fall in line. And so, as long as our morals are basically dictated by society and what's usually better for society as a whole, you know, it's a lot of gray area, but typically that's not cool.
Yeah.
You know, I think more people than not can say that sort of act is not okay. And yeah, DB, you are right that didn't happen until after after the fact. But and you know, in the movies overall, like the original trilogy, there's not a whole lot of showing that they're just absolute bastards. It's kind of taken
Right.
at face value. They tell us they're bad guys, these are good guys, you know, go with it. But we do know they butchered the Jawas, and it took out Luke's aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
You know,
Fried
so
them.
those are the two things that we're supposed to connect with emotionally, I think, in the movie to show that they're bad dudes. All right, I ran a little long.
Well, it's whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and completely disagree. Obviously, I disagree with everything of what you're saying, but they didn't butcher, as you claim, Jawas, dude. They, as I've pointed out, as I've researched and pointed out, they lived on Yavin with the Empire. They didn't just throw down. It wasn't until, again, the rebellion showed up threw a wrench in the works, coerced these innocent creatures to fight for them, and therefore the rebellion, in turn, butchered the danged Ewoks. Granted, I don't care because I don't like Ewoks. I think they're stupid. Well, sand volleyball, if anybody remembers that.
I love you,
Sand
Dirty Bombs.
volleyball.
No, I think that it bears. It needs to be said though that without the Empire's strong hand, it didn't. I mean, yes, they killed people. Yes, that's wrong, and I can agree with that. But you look at their strength, and it did keep vast criminal elements at bay. You only saw the Hutt cartel on the very outskirts where the Empire was not in control. If without a large, powerful, structured government and basically a police force, you would see more criminal elements finding their way towards the core of the galaxy and taking over the other worlds and things like that. So I mean, there was death, but there would have been death either way, and the numbers, you can't compare them because it's theoretical, but it's clear that it would have happened either way.
I have a question for Mule.
Sure, man.
You're constantly comparing the Empire to Nazis. Explain to me why the Empire are Nazis.
Sure. So, a couple of things. There's no free press. Palpatine had completely taken that away. He manipulated all of the Senate and dissolved it, as we saw at the beginning of New Hope. When he's in the Death Star with Vader, they're talking about that when they're all gathered around when Vader does his lack of faith chokehold. The whole war was orchestrated by someone who is completely insane, which is Palpatine.
That's circumstantial at best, but continue.
Yeah. The Empire is a byproduct and the tool of the Sith, so that's part of it. They used torture droids. They would use droids to torture and get information that they wanted out of people. I don't think anybody would agree torture is okay.
So,
and they systematically slaughtered races. If you look at the way that the Academy is set up for the Empire, they had hardly any alien races in the Empire. Very, very racist when it comes to that regard. And they use slave labor for almost everything. To build the Death Star and other things like that, they almost completely wiped out the Wookiees.
well, Wookiees are stupid anyway.
See?
Well,
You're making my point, bro. Yeah.
slave labor was an accepted practice throughout the galaxy at the time, though. Except within certain systems, but
Yeah.
Anakin wasn't Jack the
fairly-
slave.
yeah, it was
Let's
fairly
not forget
common.
Yeah.
Not even without outside of the Empire's control.
Yeah.
So
So,
I mean, like, while that we look at it through our lens and we say that's morally wrong, and I do agree with that personally, but within the context of the Star Wars universe, it was an accepted practice that may not be a mark of simply pure evil.
okay. All right. Well, I would have to disagree with that.
What?
About the slavery. Because if you look at some of the...
I'm not advocating for.
I know what you're saying. You're just quoting the lore and stuff. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So,
Well, it's like inferring that due to being in the right place at the right time, it is okay. And I think that it's showing that, just because it may be this given standard at a time, even for a long time. I mean, America had those couple of spots in its past as well. Many, many, many other countries. A lot of human history was built on the backs of slave labor, and we see that in Star Wars too. But that
Yeah.
doesn't make it right, no matter what the, common opinion on the topic is.
sure. Even slave labor aside, I mean, if they didn't use that, they still would have been fine because the Empire it's the galactic empire. It's vast. It's, there's not going to be any shortage of people looking to volunteer or get hired to work on their construction projects, research projects, whatever projects that they need. There's no shortage of people. And I feel like, sure, they used slave labor, and it's the same basic reason that Americans used slave labor. Is it was basically a free form of labor.
So,
It was an economic advantage, and it was accepted at the time, and that's why they did it. But again, morally now we look at it and we say, no, that's bad, of course. But
So let's get to
within
the
the context.
nuts and bolts of this then, real quick with the Empire. So they, they're a system that they have to follow orders. So, every system of government does that. So, who's the representation of all of this? Who's the representation of all the Empire? Whose orders are they following when it comes down to the end?
Whoever's in charge, probably Grand Moff Tarkin, honestly.
Who's
Have you
above
ever
him?
seen- Well, yeah, I
Have you ever
understand where you're going with this. With the Sith are bad and the Sith are evil and their motives. And I mean, you can delve into the Sith and obviously their lust for power is far outweighs the human costs and things like that.
Ultimate power!
But here's a little side note. As far as the Sith go, as a gamer and observer of the Star Wars universe, I like the Sith because they're cool. They're hardcore. They do it right. You know what I mean? Like, it's an outlet for my alter ego because I'm a nice guy in real life. And like when I go play a Star Wars game, I want to
Force
mind
lightning.
trick a dude into giving me his money and then jumping off the cliff or the balcony on Coruscant and then just laughing about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's an outlet so that I don't have the urge to do those things in real life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
okay,
I
let me-
can.
Can I ask a question real fast? Then, are we talking about the Empire being cool or being
Right, no,
not
that's-
evil?
Right. I'm giving a comparison here, and so that
Yeah.
looking at as far as the Sith go, I like them as an outsider watching this thing and thinking like the power. It's just so cool, and they're not held back by anything. I think that's awesome. If I was living in the Star Wars universe, I may want for a change of leadership, but what the Empire itself brings is a general peace and protection from really, really major criminal elements. And so if the rebels were trying to work within the system, obviously there's not really a system to work within, but to reestablish the Republic, that might be one thing, but they really don't have any stated goals to that effect. And again, the Republic, like you talked about before, is the Empire, and it was manipulated by Palpatine to become something with a different structure. But, the Empire itself, regardless of who heads it, has some major benefits for the entire galaxy that it's under its control and stewardship.
So my question with that though is, I love Phoenix rubbing his Darth Vader head. Oh, so my question to that is though, bro, like in
Alive.
is like in I don't know, when you watch Return or Empire Strikes Back, why does the Cloud City, why do they want to be under the radar and not with the Empire? To me, it's because of all the things that they do to basically strangle you. Whatever those regulations may be, maybe taking all of your money, that type of deal. So that's kind of my question. Is it really, truly better to be in the Empire? Because it seems like a lot of people were joining the rebellion toward the end.
Well, let me follow up on that point before we pass it back over to them. Isn't it all about the means to an end that need to be judged more harshly? I mean, yeah, we may all like the same ending, which, according to you or the Empire, is still peace, and according to the rebels, would be peace. According to the Republic, everybody wants peace, but the way you get there is what often really determines what makes somebody quote-unquote good or evil. I mean, that's a classic superhero argument, to kill or not to kill, even the worst of bad guy, right?
Even Jedi's kill, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to put Jedis on the pedestal and say that they're the perfect
Right.
examples of good. I think they represent the common good. They represent the democratic vote. They work for the council. They work for what their people are, and the Sith work for the individual good. They work for what they want.
Well,
The way of the Force is neither. I think it's not like that.
right. The council is not necessarily democratic. I
Well,
mean,
no,
it was,
I don't mean it like that necessarily,
Right.
but I
Yeah.
get what you mean.
right.
They work for what they suspect to be the greater good of the people. Maybe a better
Sure.
way of putting that. They do put themselves in a position where they basically will decide for them,
It's just
more
one
often than not, but do work with the
theology
at least.
versus another, or philosophy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that Qui-Gon Jinn was probably the best example of somebody who kind of tread on that balance beam and went more with the will of the Force rather than the will of the council or the will of the dark side for himself,
Right.
and he was rewarded with immortality for it.
Yeah. Yeah, even Luke did that too. He didn't follow Yoda and Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi's advice to kill his father. He said he just couldn't do it. But I want to say too, that's not. You caught me in the chat, bro. He said Lando. He said Lando didn't do that because he didn't want to pay taxes. So
That's right.
that's a good
Rich guy
point,
trying to
man.
keep his money.
He's kind of risque. So
All right, Neil, I got another question for you, going back to a previous comment that you had
Sure.
about your torture droid observation, if you will.
yeah,
The torture droids, it's kind of unfortunately stacked against the Empire. 'Cause, I mean, you see them blow up Alderaan. Sure. You see them use a torture droid. Sure. But at the same time, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors with the rebels. There are just as many shady folk in the rebellion that would do something like that without a second thought.
Oh man, I would completely agree with you. There's shady elements on both sides.
Well, what
'Cause-
happened? What shady thing?
Well, I would just say shady in the
Droids.
like Lando's kind of a shady character, but in the end, he wants what's good. But I will say that I get the point you're trying to make, that the rebels had to be shady or had to lie or whatever. I would say that's just espionage, man. I would say that's classic war, and that's espionage. You got to have that covert type deal when you're dealing with a massive infrastructure like the Empire. I
So
mean,
you got to bend the rules to keep
not
the rules.
not bend the
They
rules.
didn't have the numbers
If they
on their
wanted to keep the
side,
rules,
so
they'd just stay at
could do
home.
that with strength.
Yeah,
You know?
they didn't really
They
have to.
couldn't just fight forces against equal forces, just like British Army and American Army.
Right.
Classic. I mean, you gotta stand in a straight line or hide behind trees.
Yeah, because you look at the history and they called Americans cowards because they used guerrilla warfare. So,
Just
yeah.
like that guy who hides behind a corner and shotguns you. Is he a coward or was he smart?
He's a fucking
Definitely.
little fool, that's what
Like
it
a guy
is.
with felt winter's lie.
He's the guy that we don't like. That's what he is.
Exactly.
Until
It's
he's
the
you.
one that you
That's
mule back
me.
when you kill him
That's
back.
me.
Right.
That's Phoenix.
It is.
Yeah.
He at least had a shiny helmet while he was doing it, so there's always that.
Right.
I've always got a nice shiny helmet.
Right.
Two, maybe.
Well, does anybody else want to make any other points before we actually move into a little bit of Destiny? Anything?
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that obviously the Empire is the winner here. So let's move on.
So, with that said, choose your team. Choose it wisely.
Hang on. Thad, you shush now. Get off the stream. You're not even on the stream.
We already talked about
Either
Nazis, Dad. That was like the
Yeah,
first
man.
thing.
Come on.
Come on,
Come on.
bro.
Listen to it smart.
Podcast, bro. Come on.
But yeah, it's like the theory of why stormtroopers can't hit anything. Everyone's seen that, and if you haven't, I can certainly tweet it out afterwards. But at the same time, it's a movie. It's not the
Yeah.
fact that if everything was equal and even and everything was on level playing field and everyone was happy, everyone would end up like Ben and what's her face and just be burned to a freaking crisp. There would be no movie.
Oh man. Well, that was fun, guys. I really enjoyed it, and you guys that are listening, go try the beta. It's only good till Monday, so free in the Xbox Marketplace, PS4, PC. You can do it if you have an Origins. You just have to log in and do it through there. But other than that, guys, well, let's go ahead and segue and get into some awesome Destiny. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll just go
I just wanna
ahead.
get in on that.
Yeah. we will go ahead and start with Phoenix. You had some questions you gave some of our listeners last round, and
At the end of last week's show, I did put out a couple of questions that were proposed to me during the Twitch pre-podcast recording stream, and it looks like Jetfire72 on Twitter.
yeah,
Actually, what's his name? JZ whatever. JZ.
It's Jetfire. That's all we need to know.
yeah,
JZ Tyler. JZ Tyler. Not JZ Tyler.
right.
So we'd asked a question about what your favorite year 2 exotic was, and he just reiterates, did you ask the question, what was our favorite exotic for year 2? His opinion is that it's the Boolean Gemini for the armor boost that stacks up 3 times.
Yeah.
And the agility boost, he says, it's kind of like a year 2 Mida multi-tool. And his second choice would be the Telesto. He says it wrecks shop. He said he wrecks shop with it, and he can't wait to get it to a higher attack level. I don't have either of those. I am only rank 2 with the Queen, so I don't have my Boolean Gemini since I'm new to the Xbox. So I'm gonna have to defer to the guys on the podcast to see kind of if they agree, if they have any other ideas, or kind of what we got going on.
Dude, Gemini is such a good gun.
Yeah.
It's easily one of my go-tos. It's either that or AS Luna. For myself, typically, I mean, I've got a couple. I mean, I just got the Zalo Supercell, and I have one other exotic. I can't remember what it is on my Warlock. But typically, I will bounce between my primaries with AS Luna and the Gemini because they're just both fantastic weapons.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I love on my Hunter, stacking it with agility. It's so freaking fast in Crucible. I love it, man, because I love being the fast. What? I was talking about the scout rifle.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you can tank with the Warlock. I mean, not tank, but with that armor stack, you can certainly make up for the lack of the RAM.
Yeah, yeah. And is the Telesto, is that the Void Fusion rifle? The Halo gun?
Fusion rifle.
It's the Needler.
The Needler.
It's the Needler, yeah.
Man, I just didn't like that one. I don't know if you got it, but I mean, it's okay for PvE, PvE, but I don't know if PvE or PvP, it doesn't have that instant kill. And
yeah, you have to pretty much catch someone on their haunches in order to get the kill shot.
Yeah. So, what about you guys?
Not every exotic's going to be viable in every situation. I mean, that's absolutely what makes it an exotic.
Right.
Exotic doesn't mean overpowered; it means unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's foreign or different. It's supposed to fulfill a certain function. I mean, like Galahorn's job was cheesing bosses.
Right.
You don't use it as much in the
He's
Crucible.
very good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
absolutely. And so with Telesto, I think that's probably more beneficial in situations where you want to prolong the damage that you do in order to stun or stagger or to keep something from regenning its shield.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
PvP, I don't know. I haven't used it much in
I don't have
either
it yet,
situation,
so.
honestly. But for the scout rifle game, Jet, I gotta say, Tlaloc.
Tlaloc, actually.
Tlaloc.
Laylock is
Yeah.
Laylock.
Yeah, you can say it, Tlaloc,
Well,
whatever.
I did happen
Hakalugi.
to see on Twitter
Wozniacki announced it both
that there
ways in the
was
same
a
podcast.
few Hispanic players who had confirmed that it was Tlaloc.
Tlaloc. Okay. I'll call it the big
because
T.
of the Mayan jazz.
Well, I'll call it the miracle gun from God that got me through the Secret Vault of Glass stuff and the entire Sleeper Simulant quest line solo, except for the match-made strikes.
Yeah.
That gun just wrecked everything. You go Gunsinger, keep your super up, and it increases your rate of fire, increases the handling, the time it takes to aim, pull out the gun, reload.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Man, so good.
And I have to agree with not a pro show in chat that the Zalo gun is dude, that one is that's what I like to call it, the Zalo gun, the Zalo, because the Zalo gun is Supercell, but it is freaking amazing for ads. I mean,
really
you
is.
take them out so fast, and it makes your super go up so fast. So it's, man, I don't know about you guys, but that's probably one of my tops.
Dude,
Well, and it reloads itself. Yeah, the Supercell is amazing. I've used it a lot in the raid, but when I get up to the Sisters and Oryx, I do switch back over to Laylock.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well-
no, I was doing the Sleeper Simulant quest line yesterday after I found it, and when you get to that first room where you have to stand off against the 42 different freaking knights, and it's like, oh crap, they have arc shields. Oh crap, I have nothing arc. Wait a minute. Oh, Supercell. It's like, oh well, this is cake.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I happen to have the only elemental primary now.
Right.
That's true. I do
Lucky
actually.
me.
It's the only one I have.
Well-
Bites.
Well, Phoenix, you're sitting pretty quiet over there, man. Tell us yours.
See, it's hard because I don't chase after loot all that much, so I don't have anything cool. I'm still running around with a bunch of legendary, guns, and I really don't have a favorite because I haven't really unlocked much yet.
Well, speaking of unlock, somebody in here has the most amazing Spartan laser ever.
Oh man.
I wonder who that is.
Maybe moi. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning and saw that strike up there and went and knocked that sucker out, dude. And the sleeper simulant, there's a lot of mixed reviews on this thing. Does anybody else in here? Nash, I didn't talk to you about this yet. Did you manage to get your hands on one of those yet?
No, well, Thaddeus Prime and I were trying to get war stats last night, and Bungie gave us the middle finger as we were trying to get those things on Earth and Mars. We spent an hour and a half.
Damn.
And we had somebody else on our fire team, and we were spread out in all the places that it could possibly show up, and we kept getting nothing but eliminate the target. It was irritating to no end. So I did them today, got them within 3 public events.
Nice.
Both of them. And so now I'm waiting for tomorrow. So, yeah.
Okay, so even if you did the second or the first part of the quest on day 2 today, which for those of you listening to the recording, this is on Thursday. We're recording this. You still have to wait for Banshee to get back to you.
Yeah.
Till the following day's reset. So at 4 a.m. Central Time, if I chose to stay up that late or wake up that early, I could go and do that strike. But
okay, so did we get confirmation that we're gonna have to wait until reset or Arms Day, and it's not just gonna pop up tomorrow?
Yeah, because
it's been confirmed as reset.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I turned everything in and didn't get the quests. So so all I have is a saber, whatever it is, strike. So
Yeah, that's what I got.
Man, that's kind of stinky.
yeah.
yeah, if I have to wait till Arms Day, oh my gosh,
No, right?
I'm gonna be
Dude,
so
I did the
upset.
sleeper
Rage
quest
quit.
and I got to rank 5 in the gunsmith, and I got the quest line for the first curse.
Nice,
Guess
bro.
what step I'm on? Wait till Wednesday.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I killed about 500 thralls with my crappy hand cannon. Dude, these Almalon hand cannons, I just can't. And lo and behold, yeah, it's not gonna come until Arms Day.
Dang.
But sleeper, for all you guys who don't necessarily dig on it a whole lot, I understand what you're saying. I think it has a lot of really cool uses, but just like with Hardlight, that ricochet, I don't know. It's kind of just neat at best. What are you guys' thoughts on ricochet perks on guns? Do you think they're actually useful?
Seems like it's got to be. It's very circumstantial. I mean, you got to be firing into a closed room, and then I think the idea is to hit your target the first time.
Right.
Not have to. I mean, I guess like it overpenetrates in that, which is great. But and you can, if there's a lot of ads and things like that. But I think everybody was expecting it to be the next Galahorn. But Bungie kind of learned their lesson with giving a single solution to every problem you could face in Destiny with Galahorn. That's why it's not been brought along, at least to this point.
Right.
Yeah.
I will
That's
say
also
that.
probably why people think it's underpowered, because it doesn't just trash bosses. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It might actually be balanced, and that's why I think people are disappointed. Sorry, Emil, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I will say, if there's anything that we've all learned from Bungie, is to hold on to your gear, because if you guys can remember way back with Vanilla Destiny, and Thorn, people are getting Thorn, and they're like, "Oh, that gun's garbage. Just delete it. You don't need it. It sucks." Then they came out with the update, and it was quite stronger. So, and this goes along with a question that was asked with the pre-stream from Darkwing Duck. He asked how you're liking the sleeper simulant. So I think we kind of went over it, but with that, I'm saying is that hold on to it, man, because you never know. They could make that thing way better, way stronger. They could make it have like a blast impact. I don't know. I mean, because I just remember how everyone was saying in Thorn, "Oh, don't use Thorn for PvP. It sucks." And then everybody started using it, and they're like, "Why are you using that? I hate that gun." Dirty bombs.
Yeah, well, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Every time I see it now, I'm all like,
Well, actually, I still use. Well, I try to not use old guns anymore because I'm trying to get comfortable with the
Yeah.
new stuff. Because Iron Banner's coming around and whatnot. You got to use what gives you the highest light level. But
Yeah.
when I'm getting annoyed by these little turds that I run into, I will switch back to my Thorn, and I actually like what they did to it. Because I was never one to do the 2-shot run away. I
Yeah.
always try and land my shots, and so you land 3-4 shots. It doesn't matter where you hit them; their health drains so fast as they try and run from you, and they will die very quickly.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it does take the skill to use it now. But I mean, I already had the skill, so
Oh dang.
just kidding.
Feels.
No,
Well,
it was.
I can't
Well, I'll throw this
remember.
out there just for pure numbers. I went and visited 2 yellow bars immediately after getting the sleeper simulant. I went and shot the Ultra Knight on the Cabal ship,
Yeah.
parked into the Dreadnought, and I went and did the daily mission today where you go down and destroy Crota's soul crystal. There's a big old yellow ogre down there. Both of them were very nearly dead after 2 crits.
Dang.
So just 2 and then some change from whatever else you got on.
That's about on par with an exotic sword at this point,
Yeah.
as far as
That's-
damage dealt. Because
Yeah,
I
and
did
that's
that
the
same
big
daily
argument,
mission with. I mean, you got to be up close and personal with the sword, but I had raised lighter, and it was I think it was just 2 hits with the with raised lighter with the right trigger, and that ogre was toast.
That's
Dang,
the thing,
man.
man, is I'm wondering, well, there's some speculation here, but when hard Oryx comes out, and he will be hard.
That's what she said.
Uh,
I was waiting for it.
for a second, yeah. I'm thinking when the heroic raid comes out, first, we don't have any clue what that's going to be.
It's
There are
gonna
some
be a
people
freaking
speculating that it
poop
could be
show.
completely different
Poop
areas
show.
and bosses altogether, and not just an updated version of the raid. Of course, they've also said that King's Fall was retro normal, so we're playing a raid designed heroic and then made easier. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But when that comes out, I mean, Sleeper may have a use that we've yet to see, besides just a straight nuke laser to the head, which it still cranks up very, very decent damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all in the range. Like, yeah, obviously a sword is going to crank out damage, make a lot better use of that ammo for damn sure.
Yeah.
But you have to be up close and personal.
Yeah.
You're not going to go swinging a sword at Crota
Right.
or
Step on you.
Oryx. You know.
Hey, and I will say
It'll
since
squish you.
since Iron Banner's coming up, you guys should definitely check out the gun that Lord Shaxx has, the Hero hand cannon. Dude, that thing is freaking awesome. I love it for Crucible. So if you're looking for a good Crucible hand cannon, and you just like me, you just love hand cannons, I would check that one out. So, well, I do want to ask you guys your thoughts on a little bit
Phoenix has
how.
something he wants
Oh,
to
Phoenix,
say.
yes. Sorry. Go ahead. Use the force.
I think every week, if it's okay with the guys in the podcast, I'm kind of going to give a little bit of homework to our listeners because I like the interaction with the community. So I think since we're celebrating Star Wars, and that's kind of what our theme is for this podcast, I'd like to hear from the community as to, because Star Wars has spanned as long as I've been alive. I was born in '77, and I believe that's when the original Star Wars came out. So what I want to hear from everybody is what is your favorite moment from the Star Wars, saga, from the original trilogy to the newer stuff? Tweet us, mulebag us, do whatever you need to do. Let us know what your most poignant moment has been so far in the Star Wars series.
Yeah.
Stick to the
Darth Maul
movies.
killed Qui-Gon.
Oh my God.
Stick to the
That was
movies. That's
so
what most of us
such a
know.
good part.
Awesome.
Don't get into the books and all that other stuff. Just stick with the movies so we can all relate to it, and we'll talk about it on the podcast, throw some of that stuff out on Twitter. So.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you guys a couple questions actually on that. One is, do you think that Halo or Star Wars can actually pull us a little bit away from Destiny? And I also want to get you guys' thoughts on the microtransactions that we're going to see with tests.
Well, Star Wars, it might take some, but I don't think it'll keep them. If you can pick up what I'm putting down, that Yeah, it's from DICE. I haven't played it yet, but after this, we're gonna do some beta, and I'm gonna just freaking die of awesomeness because I cannot wait for it. Um, but I think it's circumstantial at best. I mean, yeah, there's those DICE hardcore fans who love their Battlefield and whatnot who are gonna love this, and I played Battlefield, so if this is basically Battlefield with Star Wars skin, I don't care. It'll still be fantastic. But it'll keep my attention, but it won't pull me completely away from Destiny because there's still going to be those times where I need to have my peeps and my raids and my dailies and everything else. When it comes to Halo I think would probably be a little bit of a Destiny killer because Destiny is more or less Halo with a different skin on it. So I'm assuming that there's still a fair amount of people who loved Halo who are biding their time with Destiny. So once Halo 5 comes out, they're going to go back to what they like better.
Nash, I saw you laughing, bro. What do you got for us over there?
Oh, I just thought it was. No, as far as Star Wars Battlefront goes, I mean it's strictly multiplayer stuff. I guess there's some missions and things like that too, but you don't build a character that you kind of put your blood, sweat, and tears into. You play and have a character skin, and which you can change, swap out, and whatnot. And so I think that there's room for it on my shelf, and whatnot. But I mean, it's going to be the same as like dipping into Crucible for me. It's when I need to blow some steam. I'm sick of PvE, and I just want to go kill some stuff. And the massive battles I think will have a big draw for do like a Battlefront night and get a bunch of the guys from the clan or from the community to come and just kill each other with. But as far as Halo 5, I mean, it's bringing actual story. I mean, listening to Hunt the Truth.
Oh gosh, yes.
I mean, I really did not like 343 after Halo 4 came out. It was a decent game. It was another co-op game again for me and my wife to play together, and my brothers. And so I liked it for that, but there were a lot of issues with the game that I was irritated by, but I mean, holy cow! Listening to Hunt the Truth and seeing some of the stuff they've done, like lore-wise and the story, I'm really, really intrigued. So, I do feel a pull towards that game, probably more so than I do towards Battlefront, and I'm a big Star Wars fan, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's funny. I remember playing World of Warcraft. Every single MMO that came out was always the World of Warcraft killer. It's the one that's going to bring it down. I think Destiny, the way they're positioning themselves as that MMO first-person shooter, I think they're kind of positioning themselves sort of the way World of Warcraft did, where it's almost the standard for being engrossed in a game, putting your time into a game, and that. Star Wars Battlefront for me, I'm probably going to pick it up. Maybe not at launch, mainly just because my son's going to be born right around the same time. But I mean, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be kind of a planned event with the group of guys that I play with to get on and play. I don't think it's going to be one of those things that I'm going to grind stuff out, because I don't think there's going to be stuff to grind in it. I don't think it's going to be that kind of game. I think it's going to be more of a casual, or a PvP focused game, which I get frustrated with anyway. And I did want to point out, as far as the microtransactions go, I'm all for it. I think if it's done in a way like they say they're going to do it, and Activision has a track record with World of Warcraft, the way they do their microtransactions, where everything you buy is totally cosmetic, it has no bearing on the game. And if Bungie sticks to we're going to use this money that we're generating to give you free DLC between major expansions every year, I can't see how it's going to hurt anything.
Yeah. They just need to watch themselves to not, get greedy, as regrettably Activision or whoever's behind that pulling the strings tends to be. Like you said, sure, we'll get free content before Destiny 2, if there is any more free content before Destiny 2, or content in general. But I know they're going to give us free silver to start with. I think I had heard that would be enough to buy one emote or one dance move or whatever.
Just one or two.
Yeah.
Like they said.
So it'll be like, oh, here's, it's like a drug. Here's some to get you hooked, and then you're on your own for the rest. It's like, I'm
Right.
independent enough and smart enough to know not to waste the money that I don't have on something as irrelevant as a dance move.
Right, they also know that they're gonna make so much
Oh, definitely.
money off of these
Yeah.
stupid dance moves from
Well, they need to keep.
want to have all of them.
They need to
And
keep
you know
them
what?
coming though.
It's gonna give me free content if
Exactly.
my free content is being financed
Yeah.
by the people who want these dance moves. I'm all for it.
Exactly.
I think
Well said,
Activision,
yeah.
I think Activision is definitely smart enough to know not to dip their toes into the pay to win.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, let's hope so.
Because it'll kill the game. It'll kill the game.
It will.
Yeah.
And they know it's going to kill the game, and I don't think they want to do that.
Well, they got
Well, let me
what,
connect
8
these
more years?
things together, actually, if I may. Star Wars Battlefront, Halo 5. You know, there's Assassin's Creed coming out
Hell
pretty
yeah!
soon. I want to say there's a lot of exciting
23rd.
games coming out. There's not a chance in hell any of them are going to pull a big chunk of Destiny's fan base away, because
No.
what Destiny has done is to curate an ecosystem that people live in, a social world that you wake up at 4 o'clock in the friggin' morning and you go and see if that sleeper simulant quest is up before you go to work or whatever. You know?
Yep.
Exactly.
And that
That's
people
right.
have so much time invested, whether it's being competitive, whether it's the collector in you, whether it's, you know, your 5 best friends also do this. Star Wars is a lot of fun. Battlefront's awesome. And I've only played a couple game modes, but it doesn't have that customization, that investment, that grind. And you know, it's like you've been working at the same job for 8 years. Even if you hate it, you're invested.
Yeah.
You want to be there. I don't know if it may be for some people it's a safety net, but for others it's accomplishment, you know. And Destiny appeals to all of those different sorts of kind of guttural human innate things, you know.
Right.
All the way down to pulling the lever on the slot machine over and over and over again. So no, I don't think there's any chance that and there's going to be a Destiny quote unquote killer, because the people that make Destiny what it is are not going to be swayed by that type of stuff anyways. These are WoW players or shooter fans who are now unsuspectingly MMO fans due to the mechanics in Destiny, you know. And with Eververse Trading Company, I think that Activision, Bungie Vision, they know that they've got this you know, sort of sensitive PC thing going on, where if they do anything that seems like they step over that line, the crocodiles in the forums instantly snap on their feet. You know what I mean?
Right.
People are watching them like hawks. Absolutely.
Yeah, people are waiting for it.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, people who love this game up and down all day long are just waiting for something to turn them off of it, because they know, like drinking or gambling or cheating on your wife, that sometimes Destiny is just a filthy bad habit, but we all love to do it.
Just like those other things, huh?
Maybe it's just me.
Oh
Just kidding,
man.
honey.
Right. Right. Shh. Yeah. Well, cool guys. That's good info. I completely agree with everything y'all are saying, because if I get, like Phoenix was saying, if we get free content for that, you know, and I may get sucked into buying 1 or 2 of those emotes, you know, but man, that's the big kicker. Everything's free, and you know how much people love this game and how much people are drawn to this game. And I completely agree with y'all. I don't think anything will kill Destiny. It may pull us away for a little bit. I know Halo will probably pull me away for a little bit, but it won't take me completely out of the game. I'll still go and play, because that's probably where the majority of my friends are going to be playing. You know.
And listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Bungie has stuff planned for Destiny to drop right around the time of Halo.
Oh yeah.
Right around the time of Star Wars. Even if it's like a multi-day quest type thing like they're doing with this laser beam, whatever the hell it is,
Yeah.
sleeper stimulant. If they're smart, they'll have stuff that's dropping right around the same times as these other games, just to ensure that, just like, oh, you're gonna go play Halo, well, guess what, we got this for you over here with, you know, your first love. So, and I do kind of wonder how the numbers on Xbox are gonna drop when Halo comes, because
Yeah.
PlayStation people don't give a crap about Halo because they don't have it. But I wonder what it's gonna be like on Xbox, which is already played. Destiny's played less on the Xbox than it is on the PS4, but.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like I feel like a lot of people on Xbox are original Halo players, because like Draco said in the chat, that's the whole reason he got the original Xbox. That's the same way with me, because I saw Halo and I was like, oh my gosh, it's war in space like Star Wars, but it has a really cool story that's different, and I love it. I want it now. Yeah. So, well,
Yeah, I definitely think that. I mean, especially like with the like what Phoenix is saying with, one of the things that they said about with the Eververse, whatever it is,
Yeah.
trading company, they were trying to use that money to also strengthen their team that does the live events, that are kind of peppered between DLC releases. So
right.
I really wouldn't be surprised to see some big or new um, live events show up shortly after the drop from these new games, or after people had some time to play them, and then maybe start getting tired of it or whatever. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, hey, there's this thing. I'll just play for a week in Destiny so I can level up my rank for this new faction or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're hooked back into the machine. But I mean, there's such a community with Destiny that I haven't seen with any other game that I've really dove into.
Yeah.
The hive mind on Reddit, trying to solve all these different puzzles and mysteries. And I mean, the way that the forums blow up every single day, every minute on Bungie.net, and I mean, and if you get yourself into a good clan or alliance with a lot of good folks like we have in the FOG, like it really makes the game very different.
Yep.
Compared to if you're relying on like a Destiny LFG or something like that to find people to play with. So for everybody that's plugged in to a community where they've got friends or people that they have met through the game that they play with consistently, there's really not going to be anything that I feel like is going to pull you away and keep you.
Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of like you can easily see like the community for Destiny is clearly based around helping, or mostly helping anyway. Whereas do you look at like a community for Halo, like sure we've got our 117 Halo community on Facebook, look us up by the way, but at the same time, like sure we're all buddies, we're all good to go. It's like we can joke around and whatnot and still help out where help is needed, but at the same time I feel a lot of the Halo community would be more competition based.
Yeah.
Where they're more out to, shut you down or stab you in the back.
Right.
That's what it always has been in the past too. So
Yeah.
no reason to believe it would be different.
Yeah, it's like 98% competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a real big competitive scene in Halo, obviously. They've always had the sort of private and custom matches available. Destiny.
Yeah, where
For
is
me,
it?
Halo's kind of been that almost party game, kind of like Mario Party or something. It's one of those games you can kind of just sling with your friends, like go into Master Chief and play games from Halo 2, 3. Like, it's fun. It's fun. But
Right.
it's not your hobby. If
Right.
Halo's like going out bowling once a week with your friends, like Destiny is your watering hole. It's your cheers. That's where you're gonna be every day, whether you freaking like it or not.
Everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, the podcast is actually going to be a little bit shorter than usual. Part of that's because we all wanted to jump on together and do some streaming with Star Wars Battlefront. So if any of you guys that are watching or listening now, if you see us online, don't be afraid to just jump in with us, and we're happy to game with you.
But don't bite very hard.
Right. Phoenix, you got something else?
For what, 40 or something?
I do have a really quick thing. I know we've been mentioning the Family of Gamers Breast Cancer Awareness Save the Tatas stream that's going on towards the end of the month. I have been, unfortunately, I've been moved to a leadership role with handling that. So if anybody is interested, if anybody out in the community is interested in streaming or modding or helping out in any way, please contact me on Twitter. So that's at @PHE_NYX. It's going to be a good time. We're going to raise a lot of money for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And but I need help, because when you put a guy in charge of breast cancer awareness events,
Shenanigans?
there'll be some shenanigans unless I'm reined in. So, and I don't want cookies to come looking for me. But no, we do want streamers. We want the community. Even if you're not a Destiny streamer, even if you're not a first-person shooter streamer, even if you're not a this current generation streamer, if you're like an old school streamer or you do whatever you want, come talk to me. We definitely have a place for you on the broadcast if you want to help raise some money for charity and moves.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Well, cool, guys. I think this wraps it up. And if you could just remember that, you can always find us on Twitter, and that would be Mulehorn at Mulehorn Gaming. You can find Phoenix. You can find Dirty Bombs. You can find Nash Daddy 88 on Twitter. You got Circuit 8. Thaddeus Prime. You can find us all there. Don't forget to give us a rating on iTunes and hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, wherever it is. But guys, we appreciate it. And remember, when in doubt, blow it up! Use a force, Luke. All right. Now we can stop recording. Hey, I'll keep it streaming so everyone can see post-podcast fun stuff, shenanigans.
I think we scared everybody off. There's probably 1 or 2 people in there now.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I know, right?
Draco and Nash, the only official viewers. I think Thad's still in there.
Right.
We made an hour and 16 minutes, boys. Not bad for a short one.
Yeah.
File,
What
export
episode is this?
audio.
14.
14, son.
Yeah,
All
14.
time.
So, Nash, just export it and you can save it to, or you can send it to themealbag@gmail.com.
Okay. The mule bag.
The mule bag.
The Mule Bag.
I'm gonna let you guys know. I've been trying all freaking night to get
Yeah.
into Drop Zone.
That's what I've been hearing.
And an hour
Yeah,
and 20 minutes,
it
hour
works.
and
Oh, it doesn't
15
work.
minutes into the hour and 15 minutes of the podcast, I get into a match, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get out of the match. I can't be playing it on the friggin' podcast.
Yeah, it's not working for. It worked for me the first couple of days, but I think it's just so many people are trying to get into it because it says to start on that one, that there's just no room on the server for that particular game mode.
Yeah, I don't know. The 40 man was working fine. Like,
Oh yeah, the
super
40 man
duper
works
fast.
fine.
Yeah.
What's funny is I saw Nash was playing earlier, and I jumped into his game, and it put me
Yeah.
on the other side, and he shot me and killed me.
Yeah, I was like, Circuit 8? I just killed Circuit 8. Is there another that's his gamer tag, right?
And he was a rebel.
was
I was
pl-
the Empire.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, that's
so
perfect.
Sadly, a rebel. Yeah, it was a strange twist.
What is
We
His name was
won.
Dabby.
We won.
And I was like, dude, I think I just killed Circuit.
Yeah.
And then you shot me in with your AT-AT,
Yeah.
which was
Oh, you're one of those 20 people. Okay.
I was one of the many that you poked down. I saw blazers flying, and I was like, I am nowhere near a trench. I'm going to die. And then it said Circuit 8 killed me. I was like, oh, all right.
Okay. All
That was my
right. All
first
right, brother.
AT-AT, and my only one so far. That thing is fun.
Which one?
It's kind of like the AT-AT.
Oh yeah.
The all-terrain
walkers.
armored transport. Come on, Mule, you should Star Wars.
Oh, I didn't hear what he said. Sorry.
Now, is it
Yeah.
AT-AT or AT-AT? It's like because I say ATST.
You can call them
ATST is
both.
the chicken walker. It's the all-terrain scout transport.
Yeah.
AT-AT is
Yeah,
the
but-
four-legged one. Scout transport's the two-legged.
Yeah, they're two different
What
machines.
Oh, I know that they're two different machines. I'm not a moron.
Hey,
What
Drake.
I'm saying is,
Well.
there's people called AT-AT and AT-AT.
What?
I was just gonna say, Draco,
No,
if
be
you're
right
still
back.
in the chat, man, jump in with
Oh,
us if you
good.
want to run some beta.
No, I don't think there's any difference between an AT-AT and an AT-AT. I think it's just the semantics. It's
Yeah.
like calling them 3PO or C-3PO or whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna call the ATST and that's
Do what you want, bro.
Yeah, I
I've
think
seen
their
a-
colloquialism is the chicken walker.
Yeah.
Typically what I heard.
Yeah.
I've seen a T-shirt with the AT-AT with the body of it being two @ symbols. I couldn't help but laugh.
nice.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to end the stream with all the stuff I'm doing on my computer. I think it's
Uploading?
straining it. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Okay.
this weird upload